What's been the most fun of this season for you? Like the most fun part?
Nothing.
His paychecks.
Nothing. Yeah. Looking at his bank statement. Days off.
Yeah, you know what? It's been a challenge. It's been a challenge all year, right from the start, losing Dwight. And then, obviously, the John injury. But it's been a challenge. But, you know, that's part of the journey as an NBA player and coach and season. You got to enjoy it and embrace it, and it's definitely a challenge, and we still have a challenge. We still have a goal in mind, and we're still trying to reach it. But it has been a challenge.
It's a tough sell, though, Coach. But I do feel for you because, I mean, if you think about it, I mean, I was kind of excited to see what Dwight could do. They got him like at a discount.
Right.
And then you still had Oubre and Otto and John that wasn't hurt yet.
Keith.
Like,
A lot of those guys are gone.
are you, Coach? On paper, maybe you knew they're probably going to have to move Oubre because of the contract and everything, but on paper to start the season, your expectations had to be pretty freaking high.
Yeah, I mean, I was excited about the pickups we had. One of the things that we did not have going into our last season was as a rim protector and a guy that can score down low. And Dwight was coming off of a 17-13 rebound season and played like 81 games. So, I mean, and then we did get him at a great price, but that's part of it. You know, unfortunately, you know, that's part of being in any sport that you have to be able to overcome it, and we've struggled to do that.
Well, it's just too much. I mean, this has got to be one of your worst years in terms of, like, guys going down. I mean, right? I mean, from start to finish of the year, this has got to be one of the worst in terms of injuries and trades. And, like, this team doesn't resemble at all what you started with.
Yeah, you know, I mean, yeah, it's definitely probably the worst. But we had my last year in OKC, it was pretty bad. And with all the injury, I think KD missed like 50 games, and everybody missed at least a month. But that was definitely tough. I didn't like the ending of that one. So hopefully that doesn't end the way that ended in OKC.
You know, you mentioned having Dwight in a rim protector, and we all saw the video of LeBron, and everyone's just piling on now because the Lakers are underachieving, and you know, LeBron defensively, the effort, you know, whatever reason, just not there. It didn't seem like it, but I was telling the boys during the break, I was like, nobody protects the rim anymore. Maybe a handful of guys, but I'm sure you've seen some of these videos where they've isolated LeBron on defense, and he's just kind of standing there. Nobody helps anymore. Right? It's not just LeBron, right? Like, you've seen this 60 games.
It's like a league-wide epidemic.
I mean, I watch games, and they look like all-star games, right? Doesn't it make you crazy?
Scoring is definitely up this year.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, what is it?
Do you enjoy coaching in games like that?
How can you?
You know what? There's so much talent. There's so many three-point shooters, and you have to be able to guard the ball more than ever, because if you put two guys on the ball, like a lot of the old school defensive schemes were, you can kind of get away with that because there was maybe 2 3-point shooters on the floor. Now you have some teams have 5 3-point shooters on the floor, so you have to switch and you have to guard the ball. And if you can't guard the ball, you're going to be in for a long night. And we've struggled guarding the ball this year.
Right.
Talking to Coach Scott Brooks from the Washington Wizards, who are currently 24-36. When you guys have film sessions, we've all seen how it works in the NFL. Do you go through with the entire team, like each play, and when there's guys just standing around, you just highlight it, like, hey, what are you doing?
No, you know what? We had a film session on Monday, right? And we just point out, you know what? We were last game we were hugging on the weak side so much, and we didn't help at all. And guys were just getting layups, and the paint was wide open. We just kind of highlight all the areas, and it wasn't one guy. It was everybody, and you know, Brad, Trevor, Jeff, TB. It was just everybody. And you know, when you have a film session, you have to. One thing about film, it's the truth box. You can't cover anything up. It tells you exactly. You don't even have to talk as a coach. You just point things out. This is not acceptable, and you just go down the list. But you know, we're still competing. We're right there. Every night we just, you know, we always have a bad 6 or 7 minute stretch during a quarter.
Right. Mm-hmm. Have you ever? I mean, it's just the league now, and it's just so different. I can't relate to it, but it's like a 14-point lead in the first quarter is so meaningless and dumb, right? I mean, have you ever seen If you've been, I mean, how long has this been where literally a 14, 18-point lead can disappear in 2 minutes?
Yeah, I mean, it's always been that way. There's no lead safe, but now with all the three-point shooting, it can be, you know, a couple of steals and threes, offensive rebounds and threes. It could be boom, 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 and it could be 10 points for running, you know, in 4 or 5 possessions.
Right. Like nobody is ever dead and out. Like
well, the Rockets, in a 1-week stretch, I believe, blew a 28-point lead and a 25-point lead.
Yeah.
Lost games.
Like it's nothing.
And that's a talented team with a lot of good, you know, really good point guards. They have 2, you know, James and Chris.
Right.
No lead is safe.
Yeah.
I mean, the three-point shooting is crazy. It's like any given night, teams are going to shoot 50 on you.
Do you have one guy, Coach, when you do this film review, where you look to your coaches, you go, you know what? We can break everybody's balls, but we can't break that guy's balls. Like pretty much every time, that guy is always doing the right thing on film.
Who's the teacher's pet?
Who's the one guy that you say, you know what? You can't break his balls.
Well, you know, Trevor is pretty much gives great effort and competes every time. He doesn't. I mean, nobody's perfect. He hasn't shot the ball well, but he does a lot of good things for us, just his leadership alone.
Right.
But defensively, he's scrappy. He gets after. He gives you honest effort.
Right.
But yeah, you know, everybody's when your team is struggling and your defense hasn't been good, everybody has to play a part in it.
Moving forward, what has surprised you the most this year that you believe is going to be an asset for the Wizards moving forward?
Well, our guys that we picked up, Bobby and really Jabari, and then you could say in West and intriguing. But it's those 2 guys. It's we don't know how good they can be, but what they've shown so far, they have a lot of good potential. And you know, when John's unfortunately when John ruptured his Achilles, things really changed and going into next year. So we had to really give us some flexibility and give us more opportunities to do other things going into next season because he can miss the majority of that season. But those 2 guys have surprised me. I know Jabari, I thought he was going to be more of like an offensive player trying to score every time down court, but he's trying to make plays for his teammates, and he's turned the ball over too many times doing it, but at least he's trying to do that. And Bobby, I think he can be a really good player, and it's going to be fun working with him the rest of the season and hopefully years to come.